Hey guys, Alexandra here, and today I am bringing you yet another beauty and subscription box investigative report. Kind of sound like a newscaster when I just said that. No, but seriously though, before we move on a second further into this video, since throughout this video I will be disclosing government documentation and filings, some of which contain personal information, I do have to put out this little disclaimer. And by the way, you know, whenever a video has to put out a disclaimer, it's gonna be good. Please do not send out any hate or harass any of the subscription boxes or companies mentioned in this story. This video was simply made as an investigative report of what is going on and to give you insight into the situation. So today, you guys, we are gonna be uncovering the truth and/or lies about not just one, not two, but 3 beauty subscription box services. So they're all beauty boxes. And come to find out, after deep, and I mean deep, investigation into these boxes, they're all owned by the same individual or couple, actually. The same address, the same LLC, the whole 9 yards. It's kind of crazy, actually, especially since they've been kind of denying it, right? On top of that, one of these beauty boxes is getting ready to release in just a couple of days on July 1st. And they are promising some pretty amazing high-end luxury brands in this box. I mean, brands that those of us that know about subscription boxes know for a fact there is no way, shape, or form that these brands would be affiliated or put in a subscription box, let alone a box that hasn't even released yet and only has like 600 followers. Like, there's no way. So how are they doing it? The answer is kind of a little unsettling, and I've got receipts on everything for you guys. On top of that, one of these boxes has been not just copying but bullying other smaller subscription sub boxes and possibly even sabotaging them. Also asking brands for exclusivity and not to work with smaller sub boxes that are just breaking out into the business. Like, it's actually kind of disgusting what this company is doing, quite frankly. And I've got like so much more. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get on into this thing. But forewarning, you might want to put your waders on because I'm going to be spilling so much tea in here, it's going to get deep. So if you haven't figured out which 3 beauty boxes we are talking about yet, we are talking about Yes Oh Yas, Face Sugar Babes, and soon to be released on July 1st, LIV Beauty Box. Now, people have been asking Face Sugar Babes and Yes Oh Yas for some time now if they are related or owned by the same company, because if you get on their websites, they look exactly the same with the exception of the names. Their PR program, the whole glammy girl thing, exactly the same, but they have denied it. They've said, no, they're not the same company. They're not owned by the same people, yada, yada, yada. And as someone pointed out on LIV Beauty Box's Instagram the other day, not only do they look exactly the same, but nobody can find LLCs for any of these 3 boxes anywhere. Well, I have the answer for you guys on all of that, okay? So first off, yes, they are all definitely owned by the same person. They are all have the same exact address. If you go on their actual, I think it's their terms of each one of the separate websites, and I will show you right here, they all have the exact same address, which is 90 Southwest 3rd Street, Miami, Florida, 33130. Now, if you actually look this address up, it is a set of condominiums, okay? So I know what you're thinking. You're like, Alex, it's a set of condominiums, although it's probably unlikely that multiple people live in this condo with multiple boxes. It is possible. Yes, you are right. So what I did is I kind of went undercover and I called the set of condominiums and asked and told them that I was a subscriber and I had some papers and things that I needed to file on behalf of these 3 boxes, and I needed to know which apartment number to send it to. And for each of the boxes, I was given all of the same apartment number. On top of that, okay, there's so much more. If you get on the Florida Division of Corporation, Yes Oh Yas, and this is why nobody can find an LLC for these companies, okay, it is actually a fictitious name. It is a fictitious name filed under the owner of Soul Theory. So the reason why nobody can find LLCs for these companies is because the LLC is actually Soul Theory. And Soul Theory is all owned by Ayman Al-Sharafa, and I'm probably chopping this name up, along with his wife Samantha, who signs a lot of their papers, okay? And I did black out the apartment number to protect their privacy, but it is the same exact apartment or condo number that I was given for when I made my phone calls and investigated into these, okay? So I'm showing you guys all of this so you can see it is proof that all of these companies are all under the same thing. It's all the same company, okay? And that's not the only company they own. They actually own all of these companies as well, some of which are now out of business. Now, if you guys don't know what Soul Theory is, it was actually a sunglass subscription service that I think was back during 2016. It didn't do well. It went belly up. However, they just refiled for an address change April of 2019. So this LLC continually is renewed because they have fictitious names filed underneath of it, okay? So these owners of these companies definitely have their hands in very many cookie jars. Some of these companies work out and some don't, okay? Now, does this owner know what's going on with their company behind the scenes? I don't really know, but I can tell you that the wife, Samantha, does get on Yes Oh Yas's Instagram, so I'm guessing she probably watches the other ones as well, and I don't know if she's trying to just keep an eye on things or acting like another happy customer, but she has definitely commented on their Instagram pages. All right, let's talk about this LIV Beauty Box for a second because I'm kind of a lot irritated with this situation, all right? So LIV Beauty Box, if you guys don't know, they are getting ready to release on July 1st, okay? And they are putting out spoilers for some pretty amazing high-end and luxury brands, okay? Now, for those of us that know subscription to boxes, some of these brands we know for a fact would definitely not be affiliated with any subscription to box, let alone one that hasn't even released yet, only has 600 followers, which means they probably have even less subscribers. So how are they doing it? Plus, some of the other brands that they are saying that they're going to feature and be in their box, I happen to know for a fact require a minimum of a 25,000 item per year contract, which means that you have to promise that you will purchase 25,000 items from these companies every year and put in your boxes. So if you're just starting out and you only have 600 followers, there is no way that you would be able to keep up with that unless you are spreading it out amongst 3 boxes total, i.e. Face Sugar Babes, Yes Oh Yes, and now LIV Beauty Box. That's the only way that would be possible, which is just therein more proof that that's how they're doing it. Now, it just so happens that these brands that require these 25,000 minimum per year contracts, that actually just started because of Yes Oh Yes, which I will explain that here in a little bit. But first, let's talk about how they are getting these high-end brands into their boxes, because the answer is not a good one. So as most of you guys may know already, I have been looking into and researching and networking and reaching out to other companies and things like that and getting information so that eventually one day I can start my own subscription box. Now, in doing so, I have made friends and networked, and I now have my email on a list along with all of these other subscription boxes that are currently out right now for a liquidator. Now, obviously, this is not something that I'm gonna do because I don't believe in it, but I do wanna see, and I actually had my name added to it just for this purpose right here, okay? I wanna see what other boxes are doing. Now, this liquidator is basically every company out there, every cosmetic company, when they start getting products that are getting old, getting ready to expire, have already expired, have damaged products, the boxes may be damaged, the cartons or the actual inside product may be damaged, then they turn around and sell it to a liquidator. And there's one main liquidator that has warehouses in Florida, New York, California, Chicago. Okay, there's one main one, and she sends out a list to all of the subscription boxes. Now, this is the same liquidator that Yosef used when he first started out with BoxyCharm, and that Lenny Box uses, and quite a few other subscription boxes. Okay, now this liquidator sends out a list to all of the subscription boxes every month, okay, with what is going to be able to be sold. Like, basically, I'll show you what it looks like right here. And it's like basically a big giant Excel spreadsheet, and it's just lists and pages and pages and pages of products. And all of these products that Lenny Box, all of these products that Live Beauty Box is promising to put in there, the YSL, the Giorgio Armani, the NARS, the Stila, it's all on this list. So that is how they are putting in there. That is why and how they are putting these brands in there. This is also how and why there are so many variations and limited quantities, which, as you can see, somebody was even asking about on their Instagram account. So that's why, because you can only get so many quantities of each item from this liquidator. So that's how this works. Now, I will tell you that not all new subscription boxes go about doing this way. Some really do care about the products that their subscribers get. For instance, Yes Oh Beauty Box, a lot of people were thinking that she did this when she was putting Kylie Cosmetics and things like that, and I can tell you for a fact, when I did investigate Yes Oh Beauty Box, that is not the case. She actually paid out of pocket for those items from Ulta. She has receipts to prove it. So I will tell you that not all subscription boxes go about doing this, because as you guys know, when you first start out as a new subscription box, a lot of these bigger named brands, like for, let's say, Ofra, right? To be able to have Ofra in your subscription box, you have to have a minimum of 5,000 boxes go out per month. So that means 5,000 of their units would have to be able to be put in your box each month for them to contract and be able to work with you. Okay, so that's how this works. So a lot of new boxes, when they start out, they have two choices. To have these big high-end name brands, you either A, have to pay for them out of pocket and start out with a loss, or use this liquidator. So Live Beauty Box is definitely using this liquidator. Okay, so now we're gonna get into the really deep and dirty stuff, which I'm gonna tell you right now, the people that have given me this information, some of which have asked to remain anonymous, and I am absolutely going to keep their identity safe, because they are brands, they are people that work for brands and these subscription boxes, and I obviously don't want to taint their brands or cause them problems and or cause myself problems in the future with working with these brands, or cause somebody to lose their job, okay? But I can tell you that I have proof of everything that I'm getting ready to say. I've got emails, I've got copies of messages, I've got the whole 9 yards, so I can back up 100% what I am getting ready to tell you, okay? So let's talk about Yes Oh Yas for a second, and how they are bullying, copying, and possibly sabotaging these other smaller subscription boxes so that they don't have any kind of competition, okay? So a lot of you all have reached out to me and asked me whether or not Slay Glam and Yes Oh Yas were just coincidentally putting these products in their boxes, the same products in their boxes, or whether one was copying the other. And people have been asking this for months now, okay? So I am definitely following both of them on Instagram. I have been watching them and their stories. I've been taking screenshots. I've been looking at dates of when one says they're going to release something and then when the other one says they're going to release something. And I can tell you without a doubt, and there is instance over instance over instance of this, that Yes Oh Yas is definitely copying Slay Glam. They are definitely following and keeping an eye on her and what she is doing, and whatever she is doing, they are either A, doing it too, or trying to beat her to the punch, which I don't really understand as a brand owner why they're doing this, because why wouldn't you want to have something different? Why wouldn't you want to do something better? And I guess maybe they're trying to put her out of business like they have other boxes, because I've also talked to other subscription boxes that said that Yes Oh Yes did the exact same thing to them, and they are now actually no longer in business because of it. And the same thing with the bullying and the sabotaging that I'm getting ready to talk about next. So as I explained earlier, I have been making connections, networking, and talking to, like several hundred different brands, cosmetic brands, from indie brands to higher up brands, because of my own subscription box and just gaining information and insight and what I need to do and minimum numbers I need to have and that sort of thing. And I can tell you 110% without a doubt, and this brand did ask me to remain anonymous, that Yes Oh Yes is definitely asking brands that Slay Glam has featured in the past to no longer work with her and or to give them exclusivity for these $25,000 per year minimum contracts, which I think is just gross how a company could try to do that to another company. I feel like there's plenty of subscribers for everybody. Why would you do that? Now let's talk about the sabotaging for a minute. This is the only thing that I cannot 100% prove beyond a shadow of a doubt that took place. However, my speculations are that this is what happened, okay? Now, if you guys remember, not this past month in June, but in May, Slay Glam featured the Bang Beauty Brow Pomade product. Now, this has been featured in other boxes in the past and has been a dried up product in other boxes in the past, but normally it's just one or two of the products, not every single person's box, okay? Now, I had interviewed Slay Glam for a separate, completely separate of this video that I was working on, and during that interview, I, just off topic, had asked her because I received one of those Bang Beauties in my box, and if you guys remember, when I filmed it, I had said, because I don't normally use brow pomades and I did not really use them at the time, I ended up giving it to a neighbor, and when my neighbor went to use it, she said it was dried up. So I told her, I was like, hey, that brow pomade that I received was really dried up and just was not even workable. And she said, yeah, so was everybody else's, and that she had tried reaching out to Bang Beauty to get a replacement product for everyone. Now, when she contacted Bang Beauty about this, they refused to replace the product. So at that point, Slay Glam did turn around and ask if she could just repurchase the product completely, or even any other product, to make it up to her subscribers, because quite frankly, that's her name out there, and she didn't want people to receive dried up bad products. Now, Bang Beauty, and I've seen these emails for myself, responded back to her and told her no, that they didn't have any products, none. They didn't have any products available. And then turned around the following month and had their DLS product in, you guessed it, Yes Oh Yas's box, right? So as I've told you guys in the past, Bang Beauty, DLS, Steve Laurent, they are all connected. They are all owned by the same company. And then LIV Beauty Box is featuring the Steve Laurent blush in their box this month. So obviously they do have other products that are available for these subscription boxes that belong to the same individual, but they didn't have any products available to give to Slay Glam or to sell to her to replace the dried up Bang Beauty product. Now again, this is my 100% speculation. I do not have proof of this. I only have proof that Bang Beauty refused to sell her any other product after that happened, which I feel like they should be disgusted with themselves, because they're a company. Why would you want your name and brand out there like that, and people to receive just crappy products? And just, I don't understand it, quite frankly. But again, this is all my speculation. We did receive a crappy product. She did try to get that resolved. She did try to purchase new products, and they told her that none were available. So I just wanted to put that out there to everybody. because I just kind of felt like it was wrong. And when I started researching all this stuff about Yes Oh Yas Live Beauty Box and Face Sugar Babes and started finding out more and more information, it was just like a tangled mess of webs of lies and deceit, and I feel like sabotage and bullying. And like I said, you know, I keep referencing Slay Glam Box, and I'm sorry that I do that, but there are other boxes and other instances of this taking place. But those boxes I just asked to remain anonymous because, again, they're no longer in business, and, you know, they're upset and they feel bad and terrible. And I just, like, I couldn't even imagine, quite frankly. So again, I just wanted to get all of this off my chest and out to everybody, and I want you to understand what kind of company this is. Now, let's talk about my own experience with Yes Oh Yas, because as I told you guys, originally when I was going to do this video, I was actually planning on doing an unboxing of Yes Oh Yas. I had subscribed to them under under a different name, a fictitious name, let's say. It's not actually a fake name, but it's not my name. And I used a prepaid credit card, and I used a different address, and I still have not received my June box, and this is June 29th. So that's why that did not happen. Now, I can also tell you guys that there are a number, and I mean a huge number of people that are having problems and have had problems with Yes Oh Yas in the past and currently. And the one common denominator about this is if you have a problem with Yes Oh Yas and you try to reach out to them, they don't take care of it, they don't deal with it. And the reason why there's nothing on their social media about it is because they will absolutely block you if you try to say anything or get it resolved that way. That's why there is no negativity on their social media. There's no bad comments. They will delete them. They will block you in a heartbeat. Okay, I've seen it time and time again. I actually did it on my daughter's account. They blocked hers automatically. So I can tell you 100% that that is why you are not seeing any of this on their sites, okay? All right, you guys, so that's all I have for you today, which I feel like is really a lot anyways. It's a lot to take in, you know what I'm saying? But please know, again, I really heavily researched this. I have talked to so many companies, so many other subscription boxes, so many people that work for some of these companies. I have proof and evidence of everything that I've said, apart from what I've showed you today. I mean, it's really a lot, okay? So if you yourself have a subscription box or a problem with a subscription box or a beauty company that you would like me to investigate, I would be more than happy to look into it. So definitely send me an email or a letter or whatever. I have all of my information down below. I will leave some videos for you guys right here because I have a couple of new unboxings that I put out the other day that I think you guys would really enjoy. One of them is, as I talked about earlier in this video, Lola Beauty Box, which is definitely on the up and up. So, and she, just like Slay Glam, really does care about their customers and the products that they are receiving in their boxes, okay? I love you guys so very much, and thank you for supporting me and my channel, and definitely feel free to subscribe and hit the like or unlike button. It doesn't matter. It all kind of goes into the algorithm the same and helps me out. Thank you, and have an awesome 4th of July weekend.